It's the Intern Hour with John Leslie. Oh, hey there. Thanks for joining me for the Intern Hour today. I've got a great show lined up for you. Let's get to some rock and roll tunes, shall we? Enjoy the show.
That's the Ohio Players, and I'm Shane Ray. That's going to do it for me on a Friday afternoon. Thank you so much for letting me ride home with you. It's always appreciated. Coming up next, it is the one, the only, the John Leslie. That's right. It's the Intern Hour from 7 to 8 o'clock. And don't forget, this whole weekend will be a $1 million weekend. You want to be sure and tune in for all our shows, as well as Miss Amy Scott and Mr. Pete Best and his album tracks. I'm going to finish out this hour with Starbuck on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
Salutations, rock stars. Welcome to the Intern Hour. I'm your host, John Leslie, and tonight we're going to kick the bass till the roof tears off the place with the greatest rock and roll tunes of all time. That was Petula Clark, and later we'll sing along with the Thompson Twins, the Beatles, and Cher. But first, help me welcome Bob Lynn to the stage right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. The heat is on, and the party's just begun here on the Intern Hour. Keep on rocking to more chart-topping, non-stopping, action-packed classic hits with Melissa Manchester, now sending her sweet, solid gold melodies your way right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. That was the Beatles, and I'm John Leslie. Jeffrey Dukes, director of the Purdue University Climate Change Research Center, will keynote the annual Soil and Water Conservation District meeting beginning at 6 p.m. January 28th at the county fairgrounds. Visit to learn more about the center's work to evaluate climate effects on Indiana. Tickets are $5 and include a free catered meal from Lisden's Rusted Silo. Check out our website for more details. It's time now for Gary Glitter right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. What a wonderful wide world of rock and roll. Hello, this is John Leslie. Thanks for joining me here tonight on the Intern Hour for another fun-filled show. Stay gold and keep rockin'. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you again right here Monday night at 7. Time for me to get on my bike and ride off into the sunset. So until we meet again some sunny day, I'll leave you now with Davey Allen and the Arrows right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
That's the Pretenders. Before that, Steely Dan. I'm Shane Ray. That's going to do it for me on a Monday. Thank you so much for letting me ride home with you, especially on a Monday, because I'm just no good. That's all I can say. But anyway, coming up next, it is the one, the only, the great. Well, we're telling him that anyway. You know, it makes him feel better. John Leslie, the John Leslie Show from 7 to 8 o'clock. That's the Intern Hour. We're going to wind things up with the Average White Band going back to 1975 on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
Lift your work shoes off at the door. It's time now for the Intern Hour. Welcome. I'm your host, John Leslie. I've got a great show ready to go, featuring your favorite rock and rollers, funky disco groovers, boogie woogiers, and tremendous twisters from around the world. That was the DeFranco family, and later I'll kick your Monday night up a notch with Eddie Money, Jimmy Buffett, and Gary U.S. Bonds. But first, let's fire up with a solid gold classic from the Friends of Distinction, right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. Roasty, toasty, rock and roll's here to heat up your night. Time now for another sizzling, savory single from Boston, right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. Beware the dangers of frostbite this winter by making sure you recognize nature's chilling effects on the body. Commonly found on exposed fingers, toes, nose, ears, cheeks, and chin under wintry conditions, frostbite occurs when skin reddens, turns grayish yellow or bluish white as it hardens, darkens, or becomes waxy. Layer up when you go out, and if you experience cold, prickling feelings, numbness, or clumsiness due to muscle stiffness as you freeze, get warm immediately. Fend off Frosty the Frostbiter with The 8th Day, right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. That was Gary U.S. Bonds, and I'm John Leslie. I just flew away with that last rock and roll number, and boy, are my arms sure tired. Time for me to turn in for the night. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Stay gold and keep rocking. I'm going to wind down the hour now with Sir Elton John, right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
That's Boz Skaggs. Before that, Elton John. I'm Shane Ray. That's going to do it for me on a Tuesday for the Drive Home Show. Thank you so much for letting me ride home with you. It's always safer that way. Coming up next, it is the one, the only, the John Leslie. Yes, it is the Intern Hour with John Leslie. He'll be taking you all the way up until 8 o'clock. I'm going to wind things up with Nigel Olsen, his version of an old song called A Little Bit of Soap. Something my mother could never get me to use when I was a kid. It's only right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
Strap in, hold on tight. It's another wild rock and roll night right here on the Intern Hour. Welcome, I'm your host, John Leslie, and tonight we'll celebrate great times with the best music from all your favorite classic rock composers. That was the Hollies, and later I'm playing nothing but solid gold hits from 5,000 Volts, Paul Davis, and the Jackson 5. But first, let's go up and away with the Fifth Dimension, right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. Sometimes you want to go where you know everybody's name. All your favorite bands are rocking the house down tonight till broad daylight here on the Intern Hour. So clink, cheers to another righteous round from 5,000 Volts here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. That was the Jackson 5, and I'm John Leslie. Bring your preschooler to the Indianapolis Public Library for some fun and stimulating programs in February. They'll learn about amphibians, create their own drawing book, meet forest animals, and be introduced to traditional and non-traditional sports. To learn more about these free programs, visit your local Indy Library branch or go to indypl.org. Time now for Brewer and Shipley, right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. Thanks for joining me tonight for the always chock full of rock and roll power hour that is the Intern Hour. Hello, this is John Leslie, and I'm glad you tuned in this evening. Stay gold and keep rocking. Time for me to put the pedal to the metal and make my way on home. So I'll leave you now with the Marquettes, right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
That is going to do it for me on a Wacky Wednesday. We'll be back here, same bad time, same bad station tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Mr. Brian Scott will be back also for the morning drive. I was happy to fill in for him this morning, and I'm not sure you were, but we do what we can, right? Coming up next, I want to remind you, it is the one, the only, the John Leslie. Yes, the Intern Hour from 7 to 8 o'clock. I'm going to wind things up with Paper Lace on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
I hear you knocking. Come on in. There's so much rock and roll, revving and burning to go at the show tonight. I'm your host with the most, John Leslie, and I'm glad you tuned in for the next epic adventure of the Intern Hour. That was Creedence Clearwater Revival, and later we'll clap and sing along with solid gold classics from Billy Joel, the Pure Prairie League, and Kenny Loggins. But first, it's time to jump up and dance to the music of The Temptations, right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. If you're hungry for more crunchy chords and mouth-watering melodies from the greatest solid gold singers, hip swingers, and rock stars of all time, you've come to the right place. Let's enjoy another tasty tune together with Jerry Lee Lewis. heating up now on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. That was the Beach Boys, and I'm John Leslie. We here at 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org would like to thank our underwriters, including the Payroll Department, Inc., Westside Plumbing, Sally Shattuck Massage Therapy, and Hendricks County CASA for the continued support of our station. Time now to jam along with the grassroots right here on the Intern Hour. Wow, what a terrific audience. Thank you for joining me, John Leslie, here tonight on the Intern Hour. Nothing like a little rock and roll to pump up your hump day. Stay gold and keep rockin'. That's gonna do it for me tonight. So let Leo Sayer take us home from here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. Time to rock out here on the Intern Hour.
That is going to do it for me on a Thursday afternoon. Thank you so much for letting me ride home with you. I so appreciate that. Coming up next, it is the John Leslie, the one and only. And it's the Intern Hour. That's what he's hosting. From 7 to 8 o'clock, you want to be sure and tune in for that. I'm going to wind things up with pop music from Simply Him on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
Thanks for joining me tonight here on the Intern Hour. Hello and welcome to the greatest spectacle in rock and rollin'. I'm your host, John Leslie. Little Hand says it's time to start the show. So without further ado, let's go. That was the Four Seasons, and coming up, we'll kick it gold school with Billy Preston, Ringo Starr, and the Supremes. But first, help me welcome CCR to the stage, right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. Get ready, because it's coming. Groundhog Day is February 2nd, so it's almost time for our favorite furry, seasonal shifting, phenomena predicting, mammal friend, Punxsutawney Phil to warm up his weather machine so he can tell us whether this winter will be a long or short one. Time now to bundle up and stay cozy with Tavares right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org. That was Tommy James and the Shondells, and I'm John Leslie. Be sure to dial in 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org weekday mornings from 7 to 10 a.m. for the morning drive with Brian Scott as he plays a healthy dose of upbeat, solid gold favorites to get you out of bed and on the road, along with the latest updates for sports, news, and traffic. Time now for The Impressions, right here on the Intern Hour. I'm John Leslie, and it's been great rocking out with you here tonight on the Intern Hour, but now I've got to be rolling on home. Be sure to join me tomorrow night at 7 for my next show. Stay gold and keep rockin'. I'm gonna wind down the hour now with a solid gold instrumental from The Ventures, right here on 98.9 FM and WYRZ.org.
Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. You can check out my other work here, or even over here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, stay gold and keep rocking.